Have you ever sat down to work on something important, only to find your brain feels like a browser with 100 tabs open? You try to focus, but your thoughts are scattered, your motivation is fading, and by the end of the day, you've accomplished a fraction of what you planned. You blame your willpower, thinking you just need to try harder. But what if the problem isn't you at all? What if tiny, invisible habits you perform every single day are secretly sabotaging your ability to concentrate? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on 10 seemingly innocent behaviors that are draining your mental energy and fragmenting your attention. Stick with us, because by the end of this video, you'll not only identify these focus thieves, but also unlock the secrets to reclaiming a laser-sharp mind, boosting your productivity, and finally achieving the deep, meaningful work you're capable of. Let's start with a habit so common we barely even notice it anymore: the constant phone check. You're working and a notification buzzes. You think, I'll just take a quick look. That one glance pulls you into a social media scroll, a news update, or a text conversation. The damage isn't just the minute you spent looking at your phone. Researchers at the University of California, Irvine found that after even a tiny interruption, it can take over 23 minutes to fully regain your deep focus. Your brain has to disengage from one task, context switch to the phone, and then painfully reorient itself back to work. This constant shifting creates a phenomenon called attention residue, where part of your mind is still stuck on the distraction. It's like trying to run a race while constantly stopping to tie your shoes. You're never building up any real speed or momentum. But what if the real culprit isn't the notifications themselves, but a deeper psychological trap we've all fallen into? This leads us directly to our second focus killer: multitasking. We wear our ability to juggle multiple tasks like a badge of honor, believing it makes us more efficient. But here's the shocking truth: true multitasking is a myth. Your brain doesn't actually do tasks simultaneously. It switches between them at high speed, and each switch comes with a cognitive cost. A study from Stanford University revealed that heavy multitaskers were significantly worse at organizing their thoughts, filtering out irrelevant information, and switching from one task to another compared to those who focused on a single thing. The brain gets addicted to the novelty of new stimuli, making the quiet, sustained effort of real work feel boring by comparison. You're training your brain to be restless, rewarding it with little dopamine hits every time it jumps to something new. This shatters your concentration into 1,000 pieces. And speaking of restlessness, the next habit on our list is one you're probably guilty of right now. Are you sitting down for this? Literally? Our third focus training habit is prolonged sitting without movement. You might think you're being productive by staying glued to your chair for hours, but your brain sees it differently. Sitting for long periods reduces blood flow, not just to your legs, but to your brain as well. This diminished circulation means less oxygen and nutrients are delivered to your neurons, directly impairing cognitive functions like focus, memory, and creative thinking. A study published in the Journal of Comparative Neurology showed that sedentary behavior is linked to changes in the brain's medial temporal lobe, a region critical for memory. When you get up and move, even for a minute, you increase your heart rate, pumping fresh, oxygen-rich blood to your head, essentially giving your brain a power-up. So that afternoon fog isn't a sign of laziness, it's your brain begging through a walk. But while fuel's the brain, the wrong kind of fuel can bring it to a screeching halt. That brings us to habit number 4, the high-sugar lunch or snack. That pasta, candy bar, or sugary soda might give you a temporary jolt of energy, but it's followed by a brutal crash. When you consume a large amount of refined sugar and simple carbohydrates, your blood glucose levels spike rapidly. Your body responds by releasing a large amount of insulin to manage the sugar, which often leads to a sharp drop in blood sugar levels, a state known as hypoglycemia. This crash manifests as brain fog, lethargy, irritability, and an inability to concentrate. Your brain, which uses glucose as its primary fuel, is suddenly running on empty. It's like trying to drive a high-performance car with watered-down gasoline. The engine sputters and stalls. For steady and reliable mental energy, your brain needs a slow and steady supply of fuel, not a dramatic sugar roller coaster. And while we're on the topic of fueling your system, the next habit is so simple, yet so often overlooked. Habit number 5 is one of the most deceptive: chronic, low-level dehydration. You might not feel desperately thirsty, but your brain is incredibly sensitive to even small changes in hydration. Your brain is approximately 75% water, and it needs a consistent supply to maintain optimal function. When you're even mildly dehydrated, research shows that it can lead to significant reductions in concentration, alertness, and short-term memory.
A study from the Georgia Institute of Technology found that dehydration of just 2% of your body weight, an amount you might not even notice, can impair tasks that require attention, psychomotor, and immediate memory skills. Water is essential for producing neurotransmitters and for the electrical energy that allows your brain cells to communicate with each other. Without it, the entire network slows down. So that headache and lack of focus in the middle of the day might not be stress. It might just be your brain's SOS signal for water. But even a well-hydrated brain can be sabotaged by the environment you put it in.
Let's talk about your visual field. Habit number 6 is working in a cluttered or chaotic environment. It might seem harmless, but a messy desk or a room full of visual noise is a constant, low-grade source of distraction for your brain. Your visual cortex is forced to process all that unnecessary information, the scattered papers, the coffee cups, the loose cables, which consumes precious cognitive resources that should be dedicated to your primary task. This is based on the load theory of attention, which suggests that our perceptual capacity is limited. When it's filled with clutter, there's less capacity available for focusing on work. A study from Princeton University Neuroscience Institute confirmed this, showing that physical clutter competes for your attention, resulting in decreased performance and increased stress. A clean, organized workspace, however, signals to your brain that it's time to focus, reducing cognitive load and freeing up mental energy for deep work. But what if your environment is quiet, yet you're still filling the silence with something just as distracting? This is habit number 7, the myth of background music with lyrics. Many of us love to put on our favorite playlist while we work, believing it helps us concentrate. For repetitive tasks, it might, but for deep, cognitively demanding work that requires language processing, like writing, coding, or reading, music with lyrics can be a major focus breaker. Your brain's language centers have to work to process the meaning of the song lyrics, which directly competes with the language processing needed for your task. It's a neural traffic jam. Instrumental music, especially ambient or classical, can be less intrusive, but lyrical music forces your mind to split its attention. You might find yourself typing words from the song into your document, or losing your train of thought as the chorus hits. Your brain is trying to follow 2 conversations at once, and it's failing at both. To achieve a state of true flow, sometimes the best sound is no sound at all. And while we're tuning out distractions, there's another internal noise we need to address. Habit number 8 is the lack of a clear stop time for your workday. In our always-on culture, the line between work and rest has become dangerously blurred. You finish dinner and check a few more emails. You lie in bed and mentally run through tomorrow's to-do list. This habit prevents your brain from ever fully powering down and recovering. Just like a muscle, your prefrontal cortex, the seat of your focus and willpower, gets fatigued after a long day of use. If you never give it a real break, it starts the next day already depleted. This is called ego depletion in psychology. By not having a firm ritual to end your workday, you're essentially leaving your mental engine running all night, burning fuel and causing wear and tear. Creating a shutdown ritual signals to your brain that it's safe to relax and recharge, ensuring you have full cognitive power for tomorrow. And the single most important recharge activity is the one we're about to discuss. We all know sleep is important, but habit number 9 is about more than just total hours. It's the quality of your sleep. Skimping on deep sleep and REM sleep is like building a house on a shaky foundation. During deep sleep, your brain clears out metabolic waste products that accumulate during the day, including toxins like beta amyloid, which is linked to Alzheimer's. It's the brain's janitorial service. During REM sleep, your brain consolidates memories and processes emotions. When you disrupt these cycles with irregular sleep schedules, late-night screen time, or alcohol, you wake up with a dirty brain, foggy and inefficient. A single night of poor sleep can reduce your attention span and cognitive speed the next day as much as being legally intoxicated. You wouldn't start your workday drunk, yet millions of people are trying to focus with a sleep-deprived brain, wondering why they can't think straight. But even with perfect sleep, one final insidious habit can undermine everything: Finally, habit number 10 is the lack of mental closure on unfinished tasks. This is known as the Zeigarnik Effect, a psychological phenomenon where people remember uncompleted or interrupted tasks better than completed ones. Your brain hates open loops. That unfinished report, that unanswered email, that nagging errand, they all take up valuable mental RAM. They sit in the background of your mind, creating low-level anxiety and distracting thoughts, subtly pulling your attention away from the task at hand. It's like having multiple apps running in the background of your phone, draining your battery even when you're not using them. The solution isn't to finish everything at once. That's impossible. The solution is to get it out of your head and onto a trusted list. By writing it down and creating a concrete plan for when you'll address it, you signal to your brain that the task is captured and can be safely let go, freeing up your cognitive resources for what you're doing right now. So there you have it, 10 everyday habits that have been secretly working against you. From the constant phone check that shatters your focus to the unfinished tasks that drain your mental battery. But knowing is only half the battle. The real transformation begins when you take this knowledge and turn it into action. You now possess the map to navigate out of the fog of distraction and into the clear, sharp state of peak mental performance. It's not about working harder, it's about working smarter by eliminating these invisible barriers. You have the power to redesign your day, to protect your attention, and to unlock a level of productivity and clarity you might have thought was lost. Start small. Pick one or two of these habits to change this week. Notice the difference it makes. You have a brilliant, capable mind. It's time to give it the environment it needs to shine. Subscribe to Fact Spark Wave for more mind-blowing facts and daily motivation that help you unlock your true potential.